Hey everybody, Mac to Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, and of course we got Nova on the chopping block. Got him to level 60, finally, and took a little bit longer, but was able to do it with family matters at hand. This takes a little bit longer, but he's fun, and definitely got a build that I like to do, and you know, other than that, it's probably going to be what most people are going to do, I would imagine. I don't know. Um, it's melee. I like melee, and it's the way it goes. So, to the build. Oop, where is it? There it is. Servers have been a little bit unsteady lately, and it's a real easy build. It's 20 points into Cosmic Combo, 20 points into World Mind Assistance, 20 points into Supernova, 20 points into Nova Barrier, 20 points into Light Speed Strike, 20 points into Falling Star, 20 points into Rocket Speed, and any remaining points go into Magneton Pulsar. So this allows us to use a Pulsar. Pulsar is not too important, but when we blow it off, we do get the double brutal strike rating, and that really comes through on rocket speed here. So it worked it in. You can totally ignore the Pulsar if you wanted to. You're going to blow it off with Falling Star most of the time. If you miss with the Falling Star, you can blow it up with Blast Off. So you have two ways of blowing off the Falling Star, and you're using basically Light Speed Strike, Falling Star, and Blast Off to stack up the damage bonuses of Cosmic Combo. Also, you can use, well, I guess you can't use Supernova. It's not tagged anymore, but it was tagged in the test center, so you can also actually use the signature as a way to get that damage bonus, but not anymore. And that's basically it. It's a simplistic build. It does really good damage. Got some good movement to it, so it stays survivable. Going into the gearing, I'm using a Danger AI chip Energy. Everything's energy. It's kind of an odd way of playing melee, or melee if you want to call it melee, and because everything's going to be energy damage. So not the standard setup for melee as Marvel Heroes would be. So Danger AI chip Energy. Advanced Kung Fu training sequence will still work just fine. Matt's Arrowhead Super Heroic is absolutely necessary. There's so much spirit expended on this, it's crazy. And an Advanced Phoenix Feather. And this is a very nice Advanced Phoenix Feather, as you can tell, 505 damage rating. And then I'm using a Juggernaut's medal because he's still a little squishy, and this offsets it. And it seems to offset it actually very nicely. It doesn't seem like one durability would pull you through that, but it does. I've also backed him up with a lot of defense, so keep that in mind as well. 3-to-1 core, 25% health, 100 spirit on medkit use core with 400 hit points when you hit an enemy on just hit. So this is a pretty good solid core. Hit points on the costume. You gotta back him up with some hit points. Relic of Lemuria. Just one. That's all I found with him, so that's all he got. I got a very nice insignia of the Mockingbird. So I have a chance to gain some attack speed when I hit with a melee attack, a good amount of critical hit damage, and a nice, decent amount of health, all helping out with melee again. And then I got my Doom Herbie pet with +3 fighting. That's about the only thing that's outside the box that's going on. A River of the Soul on a defensive Uru. You're going to need that extra spirit yet again. Definitely need this combination going on. And I got a pretty decent Cosmic Ring backing up that Brutal Strike rating with some Brutal Strike damage, Brutal Strike rating again, and critical damage rating, and some hit points. And then I do have his Wendell Quantum's bands. So that's giving me some energy attack damage. It's giving me some critical strike damage, brutal strike damage, energy. -1 second on cooldowns on pulsars. That's pretty awesome. And then basically 8% attack speed and movement speed for 10 seconds when using an energy power up to. And then +5 ranks to all of his Cosmic Blaster powers. I also have his belt. Extends the duration of Supernova by 1 second. I'm not using Supernova, I'm using Magneton. 54 Spirit, that's always nice. Brutal Strike damage, Brutal Strike rating. He's pretty brutal. So, and when you Brutal Strike, you get some energy damage rating for 10 seconds. That's awesome too. +2 to all powers. That's basically what's coming off of there. I got Old Buckethead on Nova, increases the amount of light speed strikes by 1. That's very nice. The only downside to light speed strike is if there's only one target, you only get 1 strike, but it does count as a movement. It's too bad it's not flagged as a movement. It really should be, because if the mob's over here, you will dash to over there. Something to keep in mind. Gives you health, critical strike rating. Something you need some more critical strike rating on your character to back up all the brutal strike rating you're getting. Obviously, if you don't have crit rating or enough crit, you could have all the brutal strikes in the world. You know, you want some critical strike rating to go with that. Crit damage. Well, who doesn't want the rare item find or special item find? But after you hit with a movement power, your next 10 attacks are at +1 speed and 325 damage rating. That's always nice. +1 to all powers and +3 to all human rocket powers. Those are nice too. Falling Star is a movement power, and it's on the rotation, so that's pretty nice. And it's on a 5-second cooldown, so if you're flying, you should be blowing it off basically every 6 seconds on rotation. So for slot 4, I didn't have it, so I used Hydra Repulsor Boots. It's got plus energy damage on it, so which is pretty nice, plus crit rating, which was nice. Health and gain spirit when you defeat an enemy, which helps offset that spirit, especially on trash. So that's why I went with it. And then I used Nat Gray's Psionic Armor because I didn't have a slot 2. And that's plus damage rating with melee power, seeing how we're got a heavy melee build. Plus 5% damage rating versus bosses. This is, if you don't have it and you have Nat Gray's, it's probably best in slot next to most people's slot 2. And some characters slot 2 is probably not best in slot compared to it. It's got 9.2% attack speed, 86 spirit, minus spirit cost for powers. That's going to come in very handy. Power duration, that'll come in handy. And +1 to all powers. It's a pretty awesome piece of equipment there. If you get them, don't trade them in. Unless you're really all set on your characters and you know you got like what you want on them. I save those. So that's it. Let's go destroy a Cosmic Dr. Octopus. Now, like I said before, the problem with Nova is he's a little squishy, but he won't be terribly squishy. And he kind of plays a little bit like Nightcrawler, where he can be a little bit squishier at the trash than the boss. Or if there's a lot of trash with the boss, he can be squishy that way. Sorry, volume was down. Get that volume up for you. They're not really blowing off the signature on the trash unless it's maybe a blue or a yellow. When you do a light speed strike, you can't do anything else, so keep that in mind. You will be locked out of being able to do anything. And it's the same with Falling Star. When you hit Falling Star, you won't be able to fire off anything. You can't shoot your, it's kind of silly, but you can't shoot the pulsars through some objects. That really should have shot over the fork truck there, but it didn't shoot over the fork truck. Let's get a countdown up. 81, so we still need some guys here. There's a good little group of guys. There's the ultimate. It doesn't move with you, so where you fire it off is where it goes. Here's the SIG. It locks your cooldowns out so you can burn off anything you want, and it doesn't cost any spirit. And then at the end of the signature, it does a big damage, so kind of keep that in mind that you want, after 5 seconds, you want to be in the right spot. Well, a little squishy there. I wasn't even in those cosmic circles, but they were hitting me. That's a little thing you got to get a little bit used to with this cosmic combo, is it will put you in circles that aren't there. It makes your hitbox a little bit bigger. Or it could be his marvelous hit, but really not that hard. He was marvelous tagged, so I probably should have been paying attention for those marvelous hits a little bit better instead of sitting in there. Let's see if we get anything good, huh? Nope. So that's it. That's Nova. If you're wondering what I do for Omega points, I still just put points into plus XP and plus XP, and I didn't put any other points anywhere else. Those are my extra points. But the Omega points really start flying in once you do that. So I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to everybody real soon.